Hey, it's Elizabeth, Countess of Low Carb, and on this episode, we're going to do dairy-free keto, having no dairy on the ketogenic diet. Coming up next. Hey guys, it's Elizabeth, Countess of Low Carb, and on this episode, we're going to talk about no dairy and dairy-free ketogenic diet tips for you today. As that truck drives by, make sure you give this video a big old thumbs up. Put in the comments below no dairy keto, as the comments do dictate the videos that I do, and this video was suggested from a follower who put it in the comments. So put in the comments no dairy keto, and make sure you click subscribe to see all things keto, all things intermittent fasting, and all things weight loss. So on my 67-pound weight loss journey through keto and intermittent fasting, I've learned a couple of tricks and techniques, and when I got asked the question, how do I do keto without dairy? I have some tips for you as how you can do that to make it successful. My first tip for you though is going to be mindset. It's shifting your mindset away of, right, like having no butter, no cheese, no sour cream, no heavy whipping cream. And while those are awesome and kick booty for the ketogenic diet, you can feasibly do this realistically super easy by knocking out those things. In fact, you probably might lose more weight because sometimes dairy can be inflammatory and it can cause weight loss stalls, particularly for me when I have too much cheese, even though if I was on a desert island, I would bring with me, the only food would be cheese. It can cause weight loss stalls. So let's talk about some tactile, tangible things to have on a no dairy keto diet. Sorry, my lighting is jacking up here. Let's see if that helps. We'll just put this right here to help make my lighting good. First tip number one is focusing on your oils. So here's some walnut oil, the avocado oil, some coconut oil. My pink salt's back there. There's garlic olive oil, avocado oil in different format, my hemp seed oil, pecan oil, lots of different oil choices besides having butter or heavy cream. Keto, of course, is high fat, moderate protein, low carb. So have hemp oil. It's one of my favorite things. I love it. Pecan oil, walnut oil, avocado oil, coconut oil. Just focus on things that aren't dairy. Just switching up your oils. You don't have to have grass-fed butter. You don't have to have heavy cream in your coffee or your tea. I would use one of those oils and get the $6 frothers. I will put it in the description link below. Travel coffee for the snow. If you want it like a latte, the oils like pecan oil and those oils, they froth really well. So you don't have to have butter to have your keto coffee or your bulletproof keto coffee. You can simply just use a different oil for it. Tip number two is nuts. Focusing on nuts and making sure they're pre-measured for 1/4 a cup serving size. Don't overeat on them, but you can definitely incorporate more nuts if you're not allergic to them into your eating repertoire. Pecans are great. Walnuts are great. Walnuts are the cheapest and the lower carb of the nut category, but walnuts are a good choice. Pecans are a great choice. I love macadamia nuts, although they're expensive. They're delicious though. And just making sure, again, that 1/4 a cup, if you're doing no dairy, just having something no dairy keto, and for the ketogenic diet, having nuts is the second choice. Tip number three for no dairy ketogenic diet tips is having more avocado. If you don't like avocado, make it guacamole. Just smash it up. If you don't want the whole chunks of the actual avocado, make it into like a guacamole and make it like an avocado toast, even though we don't have toast on keto. You can make it more of a pasty type thing, and then that can be something that you can put on top of your eggs, and it's a great way to get your high fats in, again, without having to have dairy incorporated in. If you're missing like Mexican food, missing the cheese, make the avocado or guacamole mash out of your avocado. It's really good. Tip number four is having almond butter. If you're wanting something creamy, you can substitute almond butter as something else, as like a dairy type substitute. It sounds weird, but it is pretty good. You could even put it into your coffee and use that frother as an extra sort of zazazoo into your no dairy keto repertoire. Tip number five is having your meat seasoned. I would just focus more on seasonings, right? Like when I'm in my optimal keto level of when I'm having great keto weight loss, it's when I'm eating keto vegetables and having meat and having the high fat that comes with it. So focusing in on meat seasonings for me is a great way that helps me steer away from the sour cream, which helps me steer away from too much cheese. Because again, for me, it can be inflammatory. Even though it is a keto food, dairy is a keto food, it can be inflammatory when having too much. And I do sometimes have too much. And that's the truth on my 67-pound weight loss journey. I probably would lose more weight if I ate a little bit less of my dairy. Tip number 6, we kind of already talked about it, but was having for your coffee and your teas, using coconut oil as an awesome substitute for it, or having coconut, like fresh coconut chunks. It can be expensive, but recently at Martin's, it's my local grocery store chain that is near Giant, they had chunks of coconut in them, which was delicious. Chunks of fresh coconut in it, which was delicious. My next tip is having coconut flakes. So there's coconut flakes and coconut chips. Coconut flakes you think are flakes, they're actually like dust. And coconut chips are not like chips. They're like little itty bitty flakes. So the terminology on that's kind of weird, but you can get them off Amazon. I will put that in the description link below. It's a great non-dairy keto choice. And if you're doing no dairy on the ketogenic diet, get coconut flakes and get coconut chips as another source that you can use instead of having cheese in certain recipes. Which brings me to my next tip number 8 is having, say if you're trying to make fathead pizza, why not make it a cauliflower or use chicken as your binder instead of the cheese and fathead recipes. You can still have keto pizza without the cheese, like for the dough. And I have not personally tried it, but I have seen on Pinterest and I have seen on other YouTube channels, people using the cauliflower or using the chicken as the binder, not the binder, but using that as like the base instead of using the mozzarella cheese for fathead pizza. So those are my no dairy tips for you. If you are digging this and you want to see more ketogenics, no dairy type videos, put in the comments below no keto, and I will make sure I can pump out some more information and I can actually do more recipes if that's something of interest to you. Also, make sure you give this video a big old thumbs up and make sure you click subscribe to see all things keto, intermittent fasting, and weight loss. Make it a powerful day, guys. Bye.